In this video, we're going to learn more about the hash functions. We learned in the previous video that a hash function is used to create a hash table. So you use a hash function and an array to create a hash table. You have this function, you put an input and you get an output, ideally an index. So what do we want to make sure when we create a hash function? Number one, we want to get the same output to the same input. So every time when I plug in banana, I should get a 1. I shouldn't write banana and then I put into function and it gives me 2. It shouldn't be random. It should be consistent. It should always give me 1 when I type banana. When I type apple, it should always give me the same number. Number 2, different output to a different input. So when I type banana, it should give me 1, or whatever the index of banana is. But when I type apple, it shouldn't tell me 1 if it's telling me 1 for banana. So I shouldn't get the same index to the different outputs. So when we have this array with different lengths, the number of products is the length of the array. We want to place every product in different indexes. We don't want to have different products point to the same index. Number 3, it should have a range. When we create this function, it should give us indexes that is in the length of the array. The range should be the length of the array. So when I plug in, let's say candy, and it gives me 20, but my array's length, let's say we have array A, and it's 15 length, the maximum is 15. If it gives me 20, it can create an error. Range of this hash function should be 0 and 15 included. 15 included. This should be the range of this one. So it depends on the length of the array. So these 3 things should happen in a hash function. 1 and 2 must happen, but number 2 ideally should happen, but it might not. When it doesn't give us different outputs to the different inputs that we give, there will be something called a collision. In the next video, we're going to talk about what is a collision and what happens when we have a collision.